Welcome to my channel. This is Anaiis, and this will be an intuitive reading for the current energies of the Divine Masculine. And I've already done a companion video for the Divine Feminine for today. Just feeling where the current energies are in the dynamic. And I have pre-shuffled and I have drawn for the central energy of the reading. We have the My Dear Friend card, and this is the energy that this sacred masculine is riding. These are the waves he's surfing today. My dear friend. This is an interesting card because it does imply that the Divine Masculine is seeking to engage in a dynamic and loving friendship with his sacred union other, his Divine Feminine. So we're going to start working with this. I'm going to put this here for the time being. And I am working these energies first going in a clockwise direction using the Colette Baron Reed Animal Spirit Oracle deck, and then I will go into the Mystical Moments deck to continue the reading. So we're going to start one step at a time, and we're going to begin with Squirrel Spirit. Now Squirrel Spirit, number 57, that's a 10 for those of you who are interested in the numerology. The message is believe in yourself. And this is something that is so important to both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine as we're on our sacred union journey. So here's a sort of exuberant squirrel. This is a fun card. He's busy, he's energetic, and he is really going forward and gathering together his resources as he believes in himself and believes in his ability to be a caretaker and a steward from the Divine Masculine perspective of this union. So this is the Squirrel Spirit is a spirit that enjoys play and enjoys fun, but also has a sense of how to store up resources for reserves. So this is the energy of the Divine Masculine today, and it's the place where he began, where he's beginning, where he's flowing from as this day moves forward. Next we have Flamingo Spirit. So he is shifting and riding a current that is embrace the in-between. So while he's busily attending to 3D reality in the physical, he's also stretching and expanding so he can really come into a discipline, if not a more of a comfort level in embracing the in-between between the Divine Masculine and Feminine in himself, and embracing the space between he and his Divine Feminine in sacred union. Now we have the Stag Spirit. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. It is number 58, which breaks down to a 13 for those of you who are interested in the numerology. Now here, we have adornments on this stag. It is like he has become a kind of a woodland, moving, living altar. And the message here is take the lead. And so as he's been preparing his resources and organizing himself to be a steward and a caretaker in terms of bringing together his share and power of the resources needed to keep the union safe and strong, he's also, as he's embracing the in-between, coming into a free sense of adornment that he can lead from his authentic personality, from his authentic sense of who he is, and let all that show and be part of who he is as he presents himself to his Divine Feminine and also to the world. So that's quite an interesting card to come, especially following embracing the in-between. So now I will remind you, when I'm talking about the divine masculine, this is not gender specific. This is about energy. Okay, so this is a really this is a fun card too, as well as the flamboyant flamingo. Now we come to horse spirit. And I apologize, the lawn is being mowed, the outside is being tended to, so if you hear those grinding noises, that's the equipment. And I had to turn the air conditioning off because the sound is so sensitive in my environment. Okay, so this is horse spirit. Freedom is yours. And this is a number 33. It's a master number. And this is really a dynamic, beautiful energy card because the sense of freedom, of true spiritual freedom in our wholeness and authenticity is essential to the sacred masculine in order to feel like when he's coming into balance and union, he is not giving away his freedom. He is not sacrificing his freedom. And he is not handing it over to the divine feminine in the dynamic. So this is a really beautiful reminder that that's the case. Now we have moth spirit. Again, I'd like to point out that as we're moving in this energy spiral of currents, we have a progression here that's quite clear. We have surrender now, and then I'm going to go to the next card, and I'll show you what I mean. Next we have elephant spirit. And the message for elephant spirit is learn from the past. We've got a break in the noise. This is elephant spirit. This is learn from the past. Now, what we have in terms of the overall energy of the spiral is believe in yourself, embrace the in-between, take the lead, freedom is yours, surrender now, and learn from the past. So I would suggest that these are the energies that the divine masculine is working with today. And you have to believe in yourself and to be strong in your sense of who you are to embrace the in-between. And then likewise, as you are becoming comfortable in your discomfort and you're embracing the in-between, it better enables you to take the lead in your authenticity, which leads to freedom being yours, because you're leading and you're making conscious choices based on your authenticity. So this becomes a very powerful movement, deepening your sacred union. And then once you recognize that freedom is yours and you don't have to sacrifice it to the divine feminine, she's not after your freedom, you don't have to sacrifice it, you don't have to give it up in order to be in the sacred union. In fact, the more deeply you go into the sacred union, the more freedom you will actually have. So then we have this movement coming into surrender now. And it is the beautiful dynamic of once you really understand that you have become a free being, surrendering is an act of pleasure. It is not an act of submission. And from here, we have the movement, a flow of energies from moth spirit, surrender now, to elephant spirit, learn from the past. Beautiful connection here. The divine masculine is cutting my grass, and they're doing a great job, so I'm actually very grateful that it's not something I'm having to do. Now, in the surrender now, in this gorgeous design of this moth, we can see this reflected in the beautiful mirroring here of this elephant spirit, which does really, for me as a reader, indicate the Akashic record and our ability to be completely conscious about all of our soul and soul group memory in relationship. So that's what we've got coming out today for the Divine Masculine. And I love this, how this comes full circle, because this leads right back to believing in yourself. So that's quite a beautiful circular spiral movement. And again, here we have 5 and 7, a 12, and 3 and 9, a 12. From a dimensional point of view, in terms of what we are really striving for right now in the ascension process, moving our energy fields into the 12 chakra system and into 12 dimensions of awareness is the process that we're engaging in. So I like it that these are the beginning and ending numbers of this reading. And so this is what the Divine Masculine is communicating to the Divine Feminine. My dear friend, he is saying, I am believing in myself. I am embracing the in-between. I am taking the lead for my side of the dynamic and the clearing and purification that I am doing. And I am experiencing the freedom in this journey. I appreciate you recognizing how valuable freedom is for both of us to do and be authentic in our wholeness. I have learned from the past, as you have, my dear friend, and with all of this energy supporting me today that's coming through from Source, I am surrendering now to the next phase of the journey, to the next set of current energies that I will be riding, carrying the Divine Masculine energy. It's quite nice. All right, and now I'm going to go in the reverse direction, the magnetic, counterclockwise. And we'll just do this to begin with, and then we'll see what comes out. Again, these have been pre-shuffled. So now we're going to go this way. And I'm going to start with this card, and I'm going to move counterclockwise. Morning Dew Girl. This is a number 13, so it's, in a way, it's a progression from this card, which is a 12. Believe in yourself now. Now, Morning Dew Girl is a hard worker. She is gathering information and resources from the water elements. In this card, our squirrel friend is gathering resources from the earth elements. And he's done that successfully, and now he's able to take a deep breath, have a relaxing moment, and gather information and resources from the water realm. And that's this feminine part of him that is going to help him learn how to use and bank emotional resources and the kind of communication that comes from water. All right, next we have Lullaby. And this is coming out with, excuse me, this is coming out with the Moth card, which is surrender now. We are going from a 39 to a 38. And so we're allowing, the Divine Masculine is allowing his consciousness to relax into a space where he can feel ready to be safely supported in a rest period, and where he can hear the divine music within him, or play the divine music within him, or compose from the divine music within him, because he has come into a place of surrender. Wonderful. Next we have A Long Way Home. And I love how this works, because you kind of can't just make these choices consciously. I would never do this, but here we have The elephant, with its long life and its long memory, is learning from the past, and we're going from a 25 to a 35 here, from a 7 to an 8. And here we are learning from the past and using what we've learned from the past to take our long way home in the ascension journey. This is definitely one of our options. And again, I really appreciate the mirroring here, the shape here. This reminds me of the elephant's tusk, and these little embellishments here remind me of the lighted part of this wonderful magical balloon that is what we can take. It can be our vehicle as we journey the long way home. And I really like to feel that the Akashic record information, as we awaken to it, we do become our own living library. My other enterprise is called Living Lessons Library, and for a long time I've worked from the perspective of how many lessons there have been for us to learn here in the earth environment until we realize that we are whole and that we go from learning lessons to co-creating. So this is a really lovely mirroring here in terms of color and flow and shape, and how we can learn from the past, and we are making our long way home. Okay. All right. And now we have Freedom is Yours with the Horse Spirit, and this is a 33. We go from a 33 amping up to a 44, which is stranded. And this is an important part of the element of recognizing that if we attach ego to our energy of true authentic freedom, we may find ourselves stranded for the moment. And that's okay, because when that happens, we're being invited to deal with our shadow, to go into the subconscious and to look at what is there. I hope this interruption in sound will pass shortly. Okay, that's going into the distance now. So again, we can recognize that we do have to take responsibility and accountability for the freedom that we do come into as we awaken and as we go into our sacred union. And if we should come into a place where our ego and our shadow is pushing us to abuse or misuse that beautiful, pristine energy of true, authentic freedom and soul sovereignty, we may find ourselves once again stranded in separation. And as you know, these separations can last a day, they can last an hour, they can last a week, they can last a month, they can last a year, they can last decades, they can last lifetimes. So I encourage us all to really be conscious of how we're using our freedom within the sacred union dynamic. Okay, here we have the Liberty card again, which came up in the Divine Feminine's reading for the Divine Masculine, because I can't stress enough how much we have to understand, those of us in sacred union, that one of the major struggles that the Divine Masculine has is to realize that he, in his divine union, is not giving his power away to the feminine. He is not becoming a feminized male. He's becoming a whole human being. And so when he's taking the lead and he's really feeling into his strong and resilient feminine nature, he's recognizing that his liberty, his freedom, again, it's a big issue for the Divine Masculine. His liberty is not being compromised. In fact, he's going to gain when he connects with his inner feminine and with his external divine union partner. And here again, you have the beautiful rhythm of these touches of white energy, which for me signify both starfire and purification, coming along to support the divine masculine as he's riding his current energies today. So he's taking the lead, and he's feeling the liberty and power in being able to do that, no longer stranded because he allowed his shadow and ego to create a break within the connection. This is fun. You know, I'm learning as I go, and I have to say, I love the images that I've found to work with, and I really enjoy the writing and translating the energy waves. So here we have treasured memories, and this is coming out with the flamingo spirit. Embrace the in-between, and here we have again an opportunity to reflect, and as we're embracing the in-between in our divine masculine energy, remember it's not gender specific, that the treasured memories will arise as we allow ourselves, divine masculine, to tap into the Akashic records, our soul records, from not only past lifetimes, but much more than that. There is so much information about who we are, and we're just beginning to wake up to that. So here we've gone from an 8 to a 9. The number on this card is 1-8. So we have again allowed the energy to let us flow our energy current from embracing the in-between and landing in treasured memories. So this is a wonderful, wonderful connection here that we're being shown. And again, this is within the context of my dear friend. My dear friend, says the divine masculine, this is where I'm at with the current energies. And my intuitive readings are, they may have dates, sometimes I put dates, but they're not time-stamped because I'm living in 5D. I've been living there for 3 years now, and became aware of when the Earth was dividing and moving into her evolution in 5D in 2016. So this energy, when we're in 5D, it's so valuable for us to have a way to begin to articulate and communicate. And we are learning to ride these energy waves. We are learning to feel them in our bodies. We are learning to feel deep into what is happening and what we feel and experience in our bodies as direct experience. And we are more and more able to actually communicate this information, these realizations, these insights, and so much more unconditional love across the connection to our sacred union partner. All right, now I'm going to select one card from the Animal Spirit deck, and this is to bring the Divine Feminine, just to allow her to connect with the currents that the male is riding on today. It's just an acknowledgement and a reflection. She will already be doing this. I know we are all doing this today. And she's getting Eagle Spirit, so she's bringing this wonderful, again, higher perspective, which did show up in her reading. She is looking at the big picture. She's doing it using the element of air this time. And in her reading, she was looking at the big picture through the element of earth. The message here is that Spirit has your back. And so this is an opportunity for the Divine Feminine to really feel her power, her swiftness, her ability to see the big picture, to trust her Divine Masculine, and to know that Spirit and her Divine Masculine are both the wind beneath our wings, if we want to do that, and I'm going to do it, I just did it, and also to trust in the knowing that Spirit has your back. Now, I like to use the word source, so I'm going to substitute source has your back. And as you know, for me, source energy, the way that I'm doing my intuitive readings, this card represents source energy for me. So today, source energy is connecting the divine masculine and the divine feminine through these currents and beautiful waves of energy that we're riding. And the divine masculine, in his place today of my dear friend, he is communicating to the divine feminine, my dear friend, I have your back, I'm grounded and I'm ready and I'm doing my work, and Source has your back and mine. So that's our reading for the divine masculine today. Thank you for putting up with the sound interruptions. Oh, I'm going to have an editing job ahead of me now. And I will see you again. Hopefully this reading was useful for you, and that you'll like and share it with those in your circle, especially anyone you know who's in the Sacred Union journey and a YouTube watcher. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. I will probably be doing these divine feminine and divine masculine readings once a week. So I'm going to take some time off. I've got lots of other things I'm working on for now, including our first the Shareable Wave podcast, which is going to be coming up next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you like the way that I'm approaching this information, stop by the Patreon page. You'll find, I may probably post a registration link for that Shareable Wave podcast below this video, because you will need to register. It is going to be a free event. I'm going to be featuring, my co-host Elise Stone and I are going to be featuring individuals in the collective who are on fire with their mission, with their purpose, and they're living it out in the world and sharing their amazing gifts and their ideas and their expertise with the collective. So I hope you'll join me. All right, well, until then, have a fantastic rest of your day, and thank you again for watching.